Dear friends, sit with me now. Take a moment. Gently breathe in and out. In this fast-moving world, where the mind is pulled in 1,000 directions, work, family, obligations, regrets from the past, and anxieties about the future, it is no surprise that we find ourselves weighed down by stress. But you are not alone. Even the most serene monk you may see sitting in meditation under a Bodhi tree once struggled with the same inner storm. The path to peace, dear seeker, is not about avoiding stress, but about understanding it. Just as a skilled gardener learns to work with the seasons, the rains, and the sun, we too must learn to work with the nature of the mind and heart. Let me share with you not only ancient Buddhist techniques but also timeless wisdom and stories of those who, like you, walked into the monastery of life seeking solace and found liberation. Part 1. Understanding the nature of stress. Stress is not your enemy. It is a signal, a messenger. In the teachings of the Buddha, we often refer to suffering as dukkha. But dukkha is not simply pain, it is the dissatisfaction, the restlessness, the subtle tension that arises from craving, clinging, and resistance. The Buddha taught, from craving arises sorrow. From craving arises fear. For one who is free of craving, there is no sorrow. Whence then fear? Stress often comes from resistance, resisting the moment as it is. We wish things were different, and that resistance causes suffering. But here lies the good news. If suffering arises from the mind, then liberation too can be found within it. So let us walk gently into this path together, not in haste, not with force, but with awareness. Part 2. The story of Kisa Gotami, the grieving mother. Let me tell you the story of a woman named Kisa Gotami. She was once a young mother in ancient India, living a peaceful life until tragedy struck. Her beloved infant son died. Inconsolable, she carried the tiny body from house to house, begging for medicine that could bring him back. Eventually, someone directed her to the Buddha. When she arrived, weeping and desperate, the Buddha listened. Then he said, "Bring me a handful of mustard seeds from a household where no one has ever lost a loved one." With hope rekindled, Kisa Gotami went door to door. But at each house, she heard the same story: loss, grief, death. By evening, she returned to the Buddha. She understood. Her pain was not hers alone. In that moment, she began her path of awakening. She saw that suffering is universal, but so is the path to peace. Part 3. Mindfulness, a practice of returning. One of the most powerful tools the Buddha offered us is saddha mindfulness. Mindfulness is the art of returning to this breath, this moment, this body, this mind. When you are stressed, pause. Just breathe. Feel the breath enter your nostrils and leave. This is not mere relaxation. This is training the mind to come home. As the Buddha said, do not dwell in the past. Do not dream of the future. Concentrate the mind on the present moment. Simple? Yes. Easy? Not always. But the practice itself is the path. Here's a technique you can try anytime. The 3-breath pause. When you feel overwhelmed, pause and take 3 mindful breaths. With each breath, gently say to yourself, A. Breathing in. I know I am breathing in. B. Breathing out. I release. C. Breathing in. I return to peace. Practice this daily. Even in moments of calm, you are training the mind like a river redirected. Part 4. The power of loving kindness. Stress often arises when we are hard on ourselves, expecting perfection, punishing ourselves for failures, or comparing ourselves to others. The Buddha offered a powerful antidote to this: metta-loving kindness. In meditation, we begin by sending kind wishes to ourselves. May I be happy. May I be safe. May I be free from suffering. Then we expand it to others. May all beings be happy. May all beings be free from suffering. Even the one who has caused you pain. Even the one who triggers your stress. Why? Because hate does not cease by hate, but by love alone. As the Buddha said, you yourself, as much as anybody in the entire universe, deserve your love and affection. Part 5. The Story of Angulimala, From Violence to Peace. Angulimala was a feared bandit, a man who had taken many lives. His name meant garland of fingers, for he wore his victims' fingers as a necklace. But one day, as the Buddha walked calmly through the forest, Angulimala chased him sword in hand. No matter how fast he ran, the Buddha always seemed just a few steps ahead. Frustrated, he shouted, "Stop, monk!" And the Buddha turned and said, "I have stopped, Angulimala. Have you?" That one sentence pierced his heart. What had the Buddha stopped? The cycle of hatred, fear, and delusion. And so could Angulimala. He dropped his sword and fell to his knees. From that day forward, he walked the path of peace, eventually becoming a monk and attaining enlightenment. What does this teach us? That no matter how far we have strayed, no matter the weight of our stress, we can always return. One breath, one choice, one moment at a time. Part 6. Buddhist Techniques to Reduce Daily Stress. Let me now offer you some practical, simple, yet powerful Buddhist techniques you can weave into your daily life. 1. Walking meditation. Instead of rushing, take a mindful walk. Feel each step. Feel the earth beneath your feet. Say with each step, "I have arrived, I am home." 2. The 5 Remembrances. The Buddha taught us to reflect on 5 truths regularly. I am of the nature to grow old. I am of the nature to have ill health. I am of the nature to die. Everything I love and hold dear will change. My actions are my only true belongings. Far from being depressing, this contemplation helps release clinging and opens the heart to the preciousness of each moment. 3. Noble silence. Try practicing silence for a portion of your day. Turn off your phone. Refrain from idle speech. Just listen. Be. Notice how the mind becomes more spacious. 4. Sangha, community. You are not alone. Find others who walk the same path. A community, even if small, can be a great source of strength. Even here, through this video, we are part of a spiritual family. Part 7. The Art of Letting Go. Dear friends, one of the greatest causes of stress is attachment. We cling to outcomes, to relationships, to identities. We fear change. We resist loss. But the Buddha reminded us again and again, all things are impermanent. Imagine holding a rope tightly. The tighter you pull, the more it burns your hand. What brings relief? Letting go. This does not mean you stop caring. Letting go is not indifference, it is freedom. It is the wisdom to see things as they are, not as we wish them to be. Try this simple reflection. This too shall pass. Just like the clouds drifting through the sky, my stress, my thoughts, my emotions are not permanent. Hold nothing too tightly. Life is a flowing river, not a stagnant pond. Part 8. Breathing as a bridge. The breath is always with us, yet we often overlook its power. In Buddhist practice, anapanasati mindfulness of breathing is a central path to inner calm. Each in-breath is like a new beginning, each out-breath a letting go. Here is a simple daily practice. Sit comfortably. Close your eyes gently. Inhale slowly through your nose. Breathing in, I calm my body. Exhale gently. Breathing out, I smile. Repeat for 10-15 minutes. Do not force the breath, just observe. Let the mind settle naturally, like mud sinking in clear water. Over time, this practice becomes your inner refuge. In traffic, at work, in times of crisis, you can return to the breath and find peace. Part 9. The Story of the 2 Arrows. One day, a monk asked the Buddha, "Why do some people suffer more than others from the same event?" The Buddha replied with a parable. When someone is struck by an arrow, it hurts. But if they are struck by a second arrow in the same spot, the pain is worse. The first arrow is the inevitable suffering of life. The second arrow is the suffering we create in our minds through resistance, blame, anger, and fear. Stress, often, is the second arrow. A traffic jam is the first arrow. Our anger, frustration, and tension about it, that is the second. So, dear friend, ask yourself gently, am I firing the second arrow at myself? If so, forgive yourself and let go. Part 10. Cultivating Gratitude and Simplicity. In the monastery, we live simply not because we are forced to, but because simplicity brings joy. Much stress arises from too many desires. The Buddha said, "Contentment is the greatest wealth." Each morning, I take my alms bowl and receive whatever food is offered. I eat with gratitude, not for the flavor or quantity, but for the kindness behind it. Try this. Each evening, write down 3 things you are grateful for. Begin the day with the words, I have enough, I am enough. You'll find that even amidst chaos, you can touch peace through appreciation. Part 11. The Story of the Bamboo and the Oak. Once, a fierce storm swept through a forest. The mighty oak, tall and proud, resisted the wind and snapped. But the bamboo, flexible and humble, bent with the storm and survived. The lesson is simple. Be like the bamboo. Stress comes when we rigidly hold on to how things should be. Peace comes when we flow with what is. You can practice this with a short affirmation. Today, I will be flexible. I will bend but not break. Part 12. Self-compassion. Holding your own heart. Many of you carry not just stress, but also guilt, shame, and self-judgment. The Buddha once said, "Speak to yourself as you would to a dear friend." Would you scold a friend for being tired or overwhelmed? Then why speak harshly to yourself? Sit quietly. Place your hand on your heart. Say, I am doing my best. I forgive myself. I hold myself with kindness. This is not weakness, it is courage. The courage to love the most wounded parts of yourself. Part 13. Dharma in daily life. Applying wisdom everywhere. You don't need a mountain or monastery to find peace. Every moment is an opportunity to practice. Washing dishes? Be fully present. Feel the water, the texture of the bowl. Eating? Chew slowly. Taste each bite as a gift from the earth. Walking to the office? Use each step as a meditation. As Thich Nhat Hanh said, peace is every step. Stress often arises when we are lost in thoughts, but when we return to now, to this step, to this sip of tea, to this breath, we return to life. Part 14. The Impermanence of Stress. Whatever stress you are feeling right now, it too will pass. Like clouds drifting across the sky, it is not permanent. It is not you. Remember this Buddhist reflection. All things arise, abide, and pass away. Even the deepest sorrow will soften. Even the tightest anxiety will loosen. You are not your thoughts. You are not your stress. You are the awareness behind it. Part 15. Final Reflections and Blessings. Dear one, if you've listened this far, know this. You have already taken a powerful step on the path. You've paused. You've listened. You've opened your heart. The journey ahead is not about perfection. It is about presence. Not about eliminating all stress, but learning to walk with it peacefully, mindfully, wisely. As a monk, I am not free from difficulty, but I have learned to make peace with it, and you can too. Breathe, smile, trust the path. You are not alone. We walk this road together, hand in hand, heart to heart, breath by breath. If this message has brought a moment of peace to your heart, or opened your eyes to a new way of being, I invite you to continue the journey with us. Our YouTube channel, Buddha's Wisdom, is a sacred space where teachings like this are shared with compassion and care. There, you'll find guided meditations, stories of the Buddha, reflections on mindfulness, and practical wisdom for everyday life. Let it be your virtual monastery, your calm corner of the internet, your spiritual family. Let us grow together, heal together, and find stillness, even in the noise. From my heart to yours, may you be happy. May you be peaceful. May you be free from suffering. The path is here. The journey is now. Namo Buddhaya.